Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Gamers podcast. Can't teach an old gamer new tricks. I'm Ryan, and with me, as always, my good buddy Rob.
Hello, sir. How you doing?
Good. How's it going?
Not too bad. I wish we had some stuff to talk about today.
Yeah. Well, we canceled last week. We didn't do an episode last week because there was like the two biggest stories were, one of them was the Among Us McNugget that sold for like $90,000. The McNugget that looked like an Among Us character. Someone paid $90,000 for it.
Seems kind of sus.
Yes, it does. But you know what? We're doing episode 89 today, and holy cow, do we have a lot of stuff. Like, now it's just too much stuff. We should have...
So many Chicken McNugget related stories.
Yeah, just... Chicken McNugget extravaganza. So I'm not even going to waste any time. You know what? If you like us, subscribe, leave comments, whatever.
Click buttons. All the buttons.
Make us grumpy at gmail.com.
Yep.
If you want to contact us.
So why are we so excited, Ryan? What's going on? Anything big this week?
We are excited because it is Gamer Christmas right now, Rob. That is why we're excited.
E3 it sure is
going on, and there is just been a ton,
so many,
a metric poop ton,
or imperial,
yeah,
if you're American.
imperial poop ton of just information and new games and shiny and flashy, and my bank account is already crying. Yeah. So before E3 started last week, a much anticipated trailer was revealed. I'm just hopping right into news, by the way.
Just go. Yeah, we got lots to talk about.
We no time for pleasantries. So last week, EA announced their new Battlefield game, which had been tentatively titled just Battlefield 6. And they announced that it's going to be called Battlefield 2042.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a multiplayer-only experience. It'll be 128 player maps on the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. Mm-hmm. And then it'll be 64 player maps on PS4, Xbox One. It's set 20 years in the future, and so there's it's not like Battlefield. There was a Battlefield 2142 or 2042, which came out after Battlefield 2.
Of course it did,
but before Battlefield 3.
People give Microsoft such a hard time for the numbering of their consoles, but we have no problem with Battlefield 1 being like the fifth one after 2142, but before 6.
Yeah.
Which is now 2042.
So, anyways, they released the trailer and all the information about it. And, yeah, it looks pretty awesome. They're going, I was asking you before we started here, and you don't partake in the Battlefield, but traditionally there was like 4 or 5 classes. I think it's just 4. There's like the soldier, the medic, the heavy, and the recon.
Okay.
But now they're kind of going the direction that every other battler, including Call of Duty, does, where it's like you're gonna play as Jimmy, and this one you got Stan, and then you got Bertha, like,
right.
So you'll be able to customize the hell out of them. So anyways, if you haven't checked out that trailer, check it out. It's pretty amazing. I'm trying not to get too excited for it. I will not pre-order that. Say no to pre-orders.
Unless you, it's really cool.
Yeah, plus it's really cool.
If it's really cool, and I mean, when you pre-order, you get like the fun skins and the extra loot crates. Who doesn't like those? Maybe like a little plastic statue of one of the characters.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, never done that.
No, I haven't yet either. I've never partaken in a big pre-order like that. I tried with Spider-Man on PS4.
Yep.
I really tried, but it just didn't work out. Oh, all right. So
You want to feel old for just 1 second while we're talking about years?
Sure.
2050 is now closer than 1990.
A lone tear dropped down my cheek.
Yeah, it just hit the halfway point, right? So,
wow,
29 years to 2050 and 31 from 1990.
Whew.
How you feel?
Yeah.
1990 was when Tremors came out.
Oh,
doesn't seem that long ago.
It doesn't.
Fine movie. Sorry, more games. Go.
So E3 officially kicked off last Thursday with Summer Game Fest, which, they had their event
right
before E3, I guess.
Right.
They didn't quite. I guess they're not doing it like they did it last year, where they just kind of claimed the month and just released stuff. But they had a big event last Thursday, and this event was the most things announced at it, because it was just from everybody. Do you have this article open too, or are you?
Which one was that? Was that in the Games Radar one, or?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull it up right.
So
you start going, I'll catch up with you.
Yeah, these are in no particular order. So a game, they announced a game, Metal Slug Tactics, which happens in the Metal Slug universe, and it's a tactics game.
I did see that, yeah.
Yeah, the trailer looks pretty cool, and I like me a good tactics game.
Yeah.
The thing that the one trailer though that had me fist pumping and laughing and crying and just everything was the Death Stranding director's cut trailer. Did you happen to watch this?
No, I didn't. I actually missed the Summer Game Fest extravaganza there.
Oh, okay. So they announced that there wasn't a whole lot of information for one, but they announced that this Death Stranding director's cut is coming, and they showed it off with this trailer, and it shows with the Sam character in these new areas and like new enemies. But then it cuts to this whole scene where he's like kind of looking and like trying to figure out how he's going to get through the area. So he goes over to this shelf, and there's a big cardboard box on the shelf, and he dumps the cardboard box out.
Right.
And then gets in it.
Yeah.
and then like he's like all curled up in it, and then he gets out and he's like and puts it back on the shelf, and then that's kind of the end of the trailer.
A poke at Metal Gear Solid, that's funny. Which I guess when it's Kojima is poking himself, right?
Yeah.
So.
But I'm excited for that. I'm not excited because I kind of feel like Sony's gonna label this a director's cut, and if you have Death Stranding on PS4, it's not going to be a free upgrade.
Right.
It'll be a new game. A lot of people had thought this would be DLC, but no, they're calling it the Death Stranding director's cut. So
both guilty.
Both guilty. But that one had me amped. Did you got the article open now?
I've got an IGN article.
Okay.
So I can see everything you're seeing here.
Okay. They also announced that Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Yeah.
That was the one I thought you'd be pretty excited about.
I am. I was a big fan of the my favorite DLC of any of them is still the Borderlands 2 bunkers, and yeah, the Tiny Tina, the one that this is based on, where she's leading this D&D expedition through it, and that's where Butt Stallion's from, and all those different. Really well done. Um, Looking forward to it. This is its own spin-off, so it's not a DLC. It's not a. It's just its own standalone game.
Okay.
Looks amazing.
What else did they announce here? Jurassic World Evolution 2. Now, this one kind of came as a big surprise to me, the first one. I ended up putting a lot of hours into it. Like, and that if you're Jurassic Park builder, essentially, right? Like you're,
Yeah.
And super high quality, super high production value on it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, part 2's coming out. Looks like it's got from the trailer, it looks like it's got a lot to do with um, underwater stuff. Also announced, this kind of got leaked a week or two ago,
Mm-hmm.
and the makers of 2 Point Hospital were kind of going, "Oh no, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you
Mm-hmm.
guys mean?" So it was officially announced 2 Point Campus, which is
Right.
school campus builder,
Mm-hmm.
and again from the trailer, it looks like it's gonna have all the crazy wackiness that 2 Point Hospital did. And that another game I put a lot of hours into in the last year.
Right. Right.
What else do they have here?
Yeah. Do we want to skip over the stuff that was announced in the company's E3 thing?
In the which?
There's some overlapping here. I was just wondering, like, if it's. I can't really say without. But some of the stuff like near the bottom where it's announced also in the E3.
Oh,
Could we leave it for that, or?
yeah, maybe we'll leave it for that.
Yeah, yeah. There's a few very specific ones I'm looking at that
Okay.
um, was Evil Dead announced in E3 as well, or
Yes, that was during
okay,
this. That was gonna be my next one here. Um,
okay,
so from Saber Interactive, they finally put out the trailer for the Evil Dead game,
yeah,
and oh man, I'm a huge Evil Dead fan,
yeah. It
and
looks pretty over the top.
it looks super over the top and super
Yeah,
gory
hmm
and super fun. Uh, I think that's the last.
last exclusive, eh?
Yeah, that they. Um, oh, they're releasing some Fast and Furious cars to Rocket League. If you play the Rocket Leagues,
Right, which a lot of people still do.
hmm
It's you can run it on a toaster.
pretty much. So I think the next big one that was up was the Ubisoft Forward.
Yeah, yeah, that one I watched.
Yeah, I was able to watch that one too.
Yeah,
Um, and there was a huge they gave a lot of time and even came back to it. Rainbow Six Extraction,
yes, yep, you bet.
and I haven't played it. I haven't played Rainbow Six, and I didn't really know what it was about until a few months ago. I just happened to read a description, and I was like, "Oh, this." I just thought it was another shooter, like another squad-based shooter.
Yep.
But um, no, it's more like a real-time tactics game than a like it's still a shooter, but
Yeah, it's the kind of game where you it's very realistic as to getting shot kills you.
yeah,
You're not a
yeah.
bullet sponge. Yeah, it's very realistic to what it does to a point, I guess. But
Oh, so maybe this would be a good jumping in point for me then if they're bringing out
and
a whole new.
with aliens,
Yeah,
lots and
yeah.
lots of aliens.
So it's Rainbow Six Aliens Edition,
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
which is
Do
a
you want
kind
it?
of which is kind of a weird direction for like a seems like a weird direction for a Tom Clancy game to take because it always
Yeah.
kind of seems like even if it's a little futuristic or something, it always kind of still seems a little more grounded.
You want to know my take on that?
Yeah.
Back for Blood coming out soon.
Hmm.
this is very like, as I was watching it, I just kept thinking, it's Left 4 Dead. They've got like one out of every class of the aliens. They've got
Oh yeah,
4-person co-op. It's like,
right.
the timing on this might be, and I mean, you've got an established franchise, so
Hmm.
yeah,
That makes sense.
could be good. You want to like just jump over each other on this, like
Yeah, you can take the next one
okay,
because I think this one pertains to you a lot more than it does to me.
right. I don't have the same list as you, but
Oh,
the I found one that had just Ubisoft stuff, but I've got the schedule up here. This is behind the curtain, folks. Ubisoft. Oh, there are links there. Oh, mother trucker. Okay, now I do. We're okay. We're okay, folks. It's all
we're
right.
good.
Yep, just user error here. Yes, the next one. They announced a subscription service for their Rocksmith
Yeah.
game. So now it'll be, and they're going to have more ways of doing it. They've got tablature now that will scroll on the bottom as opposed to just the guitar fret coming down. And they're going to go with a subscription base as opposed to buying the game and then buying individual songs, which is honestly a good way to go. I mean, they'll this way you can use it on phones as well, and
Yeah,
um,
that was one thing that really amazed me about it. Like they had someone they loaded it up on their phone and then
yeah,
they were like playing the acoustic guitar with it. Like
yeah, it's something that honestly they just stopped supporting the original Rocksmith, or sorry, the secondary one, like 2010 or whatever it was. Not that long ago, they released the last
no,
update for it.
yeah,
So it's good to see them bringing it back. Um, yeah, I signed up for the beta. There's a beta going on right away, so I'm just waiting to hear more about that. But it's
it really seems like
pretty cool.
they improved
Yeah,
the whole
it,
learning and like just it seems like they really put a lot of love and work into this.
yep.
And
Honestly, they did. Yeah, and using the phone as opposed to like the special cable is going to be good.
yeah,
Um, should be good. It'd be interesting to see what the price is.
yeah, that's the other. Though you know what? So I mentioned it when we were watching this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the whole branding of Ubisoft Original. Did you
Right,
notice that? How like at the beginning of like every trailer, it's like Ubisoft Original, and
right.
then it's like I think the very last one they showed was the only one that didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so those first two were Ubisoft Originals, and then next up they showed a lot of gameplay for Riders Republic.
Yeah.
And you know what, man? This really looks like this could fill the giant SSX hole sized hole in my
Yeah.
heart.
It definitely does, doesn't it? It looks really wild.
Does and looks kooky and there's another snowboarding game that got shown off in the Xbox event
Yes,
that looked so serious and just not
it
fun
did
at
look
all.
very serious. Yeah. A little bit for everyone here. Yeah. Like, and Rider Republic, it's like, you want a wingsuit? You can have a wingsuit. You
Yeah.
want a bicycle? You can have a bicycle.
You want
Snowboard? That too.
you want to snowboard on top of a bicycle with a wingsuit on?
Do it.
Bam.
Do it.
Uh what was up? More Rainbow Six.
And that's coming September 2nd. So that's not that far away at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of dates this time. I was very appreciative of that.
Right. Um oh, they're doing it again. Holy crap. So Riders not that these would eat each other's lunches, but Riders Republic is coming out September 2nd and Rainbow Six Extraction is September 16th.
Hmm.
Ubisoft
Okay.
really seems to love to just like clump their games together. Like this past year they had Phoenix Rising, Watch Dogs Legion and Assassin's Creed Valhalla all within like a
Yeah.
month of each other.
Yeah. Not really spacing it out, right? When you're just kind of competing with yourself there.
um oh, Just Dance 2022 coming.
Yeah. let's have a moment of silence here for the death of the Wii,
Yeah.
because this is the first year they didn't announce a Wii port.
Yeah.
They're finally moving on.
Uh-huh. But yeah, even in the picture here, an Ubisoft original.
Right.
That's never appeared before. Um,
Yeah, that must just be their branding
well,
for
maybe
their exclusives, I guess, eh?
yeah. They I wonder if that's got to do with like them they're gonna have a whole bunch of other media coming up now. They got a few mobile games in the pipe and their TV their TV stuff, and
Sure.
so just trying to get that out there.
Sure.
Um Next up they showed some Assassin's Creed Valhalla news. They talked about the Siege of Paris, which is their next big DLC,
Right. Right.
and they also showed that they're going to be releasing another Discovery tour, which is pretty neat. I like the idea of the Discovery tour. It's like you can basically go into that world and like
Hmm.
go like use it as an educational tool and like
Right. As you're slaughtering the
yeah.
people of the world, I guess.
They had a trailer for their, speaking of, them expanding their media, the Werewolves
Mhm.
Within movie coming out,
Right.
which is
Right.
based
Based.
on the VR game.
Yeah, which I never heard of, but
It's
um,
you know what? It was Among Us before Among Us, because you're supposed to get like four or five people together with VR helmets on. You're like
mhm.
you're trying to discover who the werewolf is among you.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Um they showed a whole bunch more of Far Cry 6. I mean, just
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, they had a big reveal trailer, and um, yeah, they showed an extended clip of the game.
Yep. Yep.
It, I was asking you, like, I played Far Cry 1,
Hmm.
and that's got to be pushing 15
Yeah, I'd say so.
easily, and it was good from what I remember. I didn't put a whole
Hmm.
lot of time into it though, because I was heavy into my WoW addiction at the time. and,
Right. Right.
the game came free with my new motherboard,
Hmm.
so I played it that way. But I kind of remember it being aliens or something were the bad guys in the end, even though you're on the island. Like,
Okay.
but from what I was talking, I was asking you like, how are these all connected? And it always just, I guess it's just always there's a big baddie and
Yeah.
you're just the guy going in to take him down.
Yeah. Honestly, it's just always some super evil villain who's. I don't believe they're tied anywhere. If they are tied together somehow in the lore, please let us know in the
Yeah,
comments.
I'd love
But
to.
I don't see how they could be.
And Ubisoft ended out the show with that's something that got definitely a couple fist bumps from me.
Yep.
And I wish I just stayed off social media before that morning,
Hmm.
because it popped up as a rumor in
Yeah.
on a page I was looking at. But
Hmm.
they announced the sequel to Mario and Rabbids. This
Yep.
one's called Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope,
Yeah.
and yeah, it looks good.
It does.
It looks real good.
It does. I'm pleasantly surprised they're making a sequel for this, right? Like I
Yeah,
wasn't sure if it was popular enough, but it obviously was. A great game. Both you and I played the crowd out of it there.
yeah. I think we're both at the end of the game and just can't beat that last guy.
Yeah, it gets very unfair right at the end. It's what did you think of like their one more thing announcement at the end there?
One more thing.
They
Oh,
had Avatar.
right,
That caught us
right.
both by surprise because
Yeah. I I was I was thinking it's because of, I mean, next year they said this is for 2022,
mhm,
this Avatar game, and next year the first sequel of Avatar is supposed to be coming out.
Right. Okay.
So maybe it's tying in with that.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm just reading about it here because I hadn't heard about this before. This game was announced in 2017,
Oh man.
so just finally came out, I guess. Like even 2017 is quite a bit after the first movie, right? So
Yeah.
um, it looked amazing.
Yeah, it really did. It really looked pretty. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was not the one more thing that we were hoping for.
No, no, because you know what that was.
Yeah. Oh, I
That
know.
was
Why don't you tell the people what it was, Rob?
I was I the main reason I tuned into Ubisoft, other than wanting to be able to report it for you folks there, is Beyond Good and Evil 2 is we know they're working on it,
Yeah.
but I mean there were some games here like honestly Avatar looked like a bunch of like cutscenes. That's
Yeah.
all they had, and they still said something about it. So I'm little a little nervous. I was hoping to see a little bit more of it, but maybe Summer Games Fest, right? That's
Maybe. Yeah, maybe they're holding out. Maybe something will pop up this month.
yep, yep,
Um, so my big like surprise other that was the Mario and Rabbids.
absolutely, yeah.
I even though I kind of knew it was coming, I was still so happy to see it.
That was great to see.
I think that's all we got to talk about.
Yeah, Ubisoft. It was
Ubisoft.
so if you had to give it a rating, like a grade letter rating, what would you give that one?
Like a 7.
Like a grade letter one, like
Oh, a grade letter. A 7.
which letter would you pick? I'd pick a 7. Oh, okay. Um,
I would go. I would go. I go with a B minus. How about
yeah,
that?
yeah, I'd go with a probably solid B. I think. Yeah, it was good, especially when we start relating it to some of the other ones here. That yeah, let's not get ahead of the story here, but I'd say a B as well.
Okay.
All right. So next, what do we have on the list here? Got an Xbox, right?
The Xbox.
Xbox and a Bethesda.
Yeah. So I uh I only caught up on this one. I didn't. I was able to see the first reveal, and
Yep.
then I couldn't. And then I yeah, I couldn't catch anything else.
It was a long one. Holy
Yeah.
mackerel. It was really long. And just so you know, they're not in order on the web link we have here.
Yeah, I see that. I see
Yeah.
that.
But that's okay. We're gonna go through it in the order on this list because
Yeah.
Ryan and I aren't in the same room and this is how we're gonna sync up. So
So they opened with a trailer for Starfield, which
yeah.
they really needed to do, I think. Like
Yes,
just
it's
and they came and I mean from the trailer, cool, good
yep.
good mood to it and everything, and they gave it a release date, which is November 11th, 2022.
Yeah. And they had Todd Howard come out to announce it, right? Which is good because it's
Yeah.
Bethesda, right? And strangely enough, going to be an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
Surprising no one, but honestly, that's the kind of game I would. If you're not playing it on a Series X or a PC, I just don't know how well it's going to run
Mm-hmm.
because everything they showed was an engine, and it just looked. If you're going to look up a couple trailers from this,
Oh,
just to kind of get an idea of how E3 was, I'd recommend Starfield being one of them because
yeah.
it looked amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it really
What's the
did.
game about? Stars
In a field.
in a field, but yeah, it looks real pretty. So hopefully it's real good.
And day one day pass or day,
They,
game pass day one.
yep, that's going to be a theme for a lot of what you see here. Is just like if you have Game Pass, things are going to be really good. Like once a month for like the next 12 months, you're going to get something big. It's going to be a surprise, real
They
big surprise.
um Yeah, there's so much quality. So on the list we're going by here, this next one was actually the one more thing trailer.
An interesting choice for it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh it's a game called Redfall, and it's a shooter from what I've seen,
Hmm.
and it's you versus aliens, vampires.
Yeah.
And so Redfall is made by Arcane Studios Austin, and
Okay.
their next game coming out is actually Deathloop.
Oh, same guys.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and they also made the Dishonored games.
Hmm. Okay.
So they got some they
Got
got
some
some good
pedigree, right?
they got some good pedigree there.
Yeah.
But I mean, this one looked crazy. Like, just these guys had all these like anti-vampire weapons, and there's all these crazy vampires, and
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Dishonored because Dishonored's a very serious game, but this was more like a Borderlands kind of feel to it, right? Where it's just kind of like,
yeah,
or Overwatch would be a good example too, where it's like,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, but interesting. This other one here, if, have you ever got into? It's they released Stalker 2,
Yeah.
which is like that Chernobyl first-person shooter kind of scary. You ever been into the Stalker series?
Not at all.
Yeah,
Just, a bunch of my ex-girlfriends.
fair enough.
Crickets.
Um, video games, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
video games. We don't want to talk about the lawsuits. No.
the it was interesting. What I got from it, I wasn't that impressed with the graphics, like of the facial animations especially.
Yeah,
It looked very last gen. Um,
it's true.
but yeah, and they didn't really say much of the story other than you're Russian,
Yeah.
called the stalker.
You know what? I don't even know that I've heard of the first one, to tell you the truth.
Okay, okay, yeah.
I I was just I glazed over a bit for this one. But the next one, this got three fist pumps from me. They
This
showed
is the next left. This is the next grumpy old gamers co-op here.
absolutely the Back for Blood.
Yeah,
Yeah, is coming, and they showed a lot of gameplay, and it looks like a ton of fun.
yep, yep,
And it's a Game Pass Day One game.
yep.
So
That one's October 9th, I want to say, just off the top of my head. I think I
yeah,
mentioned it in the chat because I was like, ah,
yeah, it's sooner than later, that's for sure.
yeah. They're calling it the spiritual successor to the Left 4 Dead series,
Yeah,
and yeah, it sure looks like it.
it
Looks
really
pretty good.
does. uh, Next one here, Contraband. Uh,
It was kind of a teaser. They didn't really
yeah,
show too much about it.
it looks like a heist game. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Not too sure. Contraband, folks.
Jack Sparrow DLC coming to Sea of Thieves. That's fun.
I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, like actually, it makes sense. Like, but I'm sure pulling it off with Disney had to have been a bit of a. There's some money thrown around and a free DLC. They said it
Yeah.
was going to be free, so that's very impressive.
um, Yakuza Like a Dragon is coming to Game Pass. They announced.
I heard the Yakuza series was dumb. No one likes it. Hey, Damon.
Yeah.
Hey, how you
Also,
doing?
there's just a knock on your door.
Yeah, resident grumpy old gamer Damon, a big fan of the Yakuza series, very much so. He was very excited about this.
Yeah. They showed more gameplay of Battlefield 2042, which I just ate up. The
Nom, 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 nom.
big bowl of 2042.
Yep, yep.
12 minutes, which is another time loop game, which is,
Hmm.
the definitely a theme of a lot of games coming out right now.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
Looked good, looked interesting.
Yeah, it's something different, right?
Yeah. Psychonauts 2.
Still looking good.
Yep.
August 25th, available on Game Pass, day one.
Day one. Double Fine. What else do they make?
Psychonauts 1. Uh,
I've heard that. I've heard that before.
yeah. I know Tim Schafer's involved with them, so I mean, would have been Maniac Mansion, Day of the Tentacle, but not with Double Fine.
Right, right. Oh yeah, they got a whole Day of the Tentacle, Grim Fandango. Um, oh yeah, Full Throttle.
Yeah, see, they were founded in 2000 by Tim Schafer. All those games that you're mentioning were
Oh yeah,
done before then, yeah. But Brutal Legend,
Brutal Legend. Yeah, right, right.
yeah, Tim Schafer's been doing this for a long, long time.
Cool,
Gonna be
cool,
good.
cool, cool, cool. All right, what else we got? Some Fallout 76 DLC coming. Yay!
Yay!
They're bringing out a Elder Scrolls Online console enhanced edition.
Yay! It is a popular series. People like it.
Party Animals. I did not see this.
This one's great. Have you
Yeah?
ever seen Gang Beasts? It's like
No.
it's like a fighting game, but you've got very floppy co-op type mechanics where you're. It's kind of what this is. It looks like a lot of fun.
Okay.
Not for one person. It's not a kind of game you play by yourself, but you get some
Mm-hmm.
people together, and it's like a big Smash Brothers kind of game, but your guys are all like derpy, just like you can kind of control the arms like this, and
Okay.
it's if you look up Gang Beasts, some gameplay of that, it looked very similar to that. That's an older game.
Okay.
Looks fun. Not going to be a full price game, so
Right.
it,
Right.
it better not be because it's going to be fun for a bit, and then yep.
Next up, they announced Hades coming to Xbox Series X and Xbox One.
Okay.
Yeah. But not on Game Pass. Wah, wah.
Yeah.
Tune in next week where I rave about this game when we talk about in the what we've been playing section. Hades.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's all right.
Somerville. I did not watch this one.
Looked like a family trying to escape from aliens. Kind of
Yeah.
like a. It gave me a lot of vibes of flashback and what's the one before flashback? Like
Out of this world.
there you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
It looked very much like that. Like you're trying to escape with your family. Aliens have landed.
Hmm.
Looked pretty cool.
Okay.
It's nice to see they're all not big blockbuster first-person shooters, right? Like it's
Yeah.
nice to see games like this come in and get supported. So
Well, I'll give it a try because it's going to be coming to Game Pass.
Game Pass.
And then with Halo Infinite, showed some of the multiplayer of that.
Yep. And they announced that there are separate games. The multiplayer will be free.
Right.
Yeah, pretty cool.
They're gonna try out the whole Call of Duty Warzone / like Apex Legends, Fortnite free to play, and well, if there's a company that everyone should kind of watch out to do it, I think this is the one.
Yep, absolutely.
The gameplay looked awesome in the arena matches there.
The textures looked a lot better than they did in the last time we saw them. You can tell they've been working on it. And holiday 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So, and day one Game Pass.
Day one Game Pass.
Day one Game Pass.
Then they showed some of the Diablo 2 remastered. Um,
And I was confused that this was shown in the Xbox one and
yeah,
not the EA one in a month.
yeah.
Not EA, sorry. Activision maybe doesn't have one. That's why.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Apparently it's optimized though for Series X and S.
There you
So
go. There you go.
that's that. I think that's how it ended up here.
Yeah, September 23rd, my birthday. So gonna gonna be a good birthday.
Diablo 2 it up.
Yep. This
So
is the I've played so much of this game.
yeah.
So much. I'm super excited.
So in my skimming of of the the event here, I'm totally missed that there's a new Plague Tale coming out.
Yeah, I gotta admit I was surprised you hadn't mentioned something about it, but that makes sense now. You said you
Yeah,
really love this game.
a Plague Tale Innocence. It was one of my top games 2 years ago, I believe now.
Right.
And yeah, like I'm not a big stealth guy, but this game, man, whew. But
It, the trailer looked a lot more like it's gonna be a lot more action.
yeah,
Yeah. Now
okay.
she's a little more grown up and she's gonna fight some rats. Rats are gonna get it.
Well, I'll get to play it on Game Pass day one.
Day one Game Pass.
Day one Game Pass. They showed more Far Cry 6.
Yep.
Slime excuse me, Slime Rancher 2. The one I
It's a
was
game.
talk the one I was talking about that looks like a really serious snowboarding game is Shredders.
Right.
As soon as I saw this in the one of the summaries I was looking at, I checked out and I'm like, this looks like it's more of a simulator because they're like made for riders by riders. Like,
Yeah. It's a little more serious than
yeah,
the game we were talking about from Ubisoft, where it's just like, and
yeah.
you're doing backflips and
I did not see one wacky outfit.
not a single wacky outfit.
um, Atomic Heart. I did not watch.
It's
Any.
a. It looks like a game. I was trying to figure out anything about it. It was all CGI. It was all cutscenes, so
Oh, okay.
wasn't really. Yeah.
Replaced, a cyberpunk pixel art adventure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Cool.
Um, oh, a new update to Grounded. I might have to go back
Yes.
and play this because
Hmm.
um,
Is it still in beta? Like, has it
it
officially
is.
released? So they're
No,
doing
it's
DLC for
yeah,
a game that's not officially released yet.
it's still in the early access. If you go look at it on the Game Pass, there, it's still in early
Sure.
access. Yeah.
Yeah. They want to make real sure. Looks pretty good.
Um, Among Us is getting an update on June 15th, which is tomorrow.
There you go.
Add 15 player lobbies to the game. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ayuden Chronicles. I did not watch this part.
It's an RPG. Very Japanese.
Okay.
Yep. Not in our wheelhouses. That'd be a Brent kind of thing, I think. But
Yeah. I did watch the Ascent trailer. I liked what I
yes,
saw. It,
absolutely. Yep.
also, some of the founders of this studio, Neon Giant, have worked on Gears of War, Wolfenstein, Doom, and Bulletstorm. So that
Some
kind of
good pedigree.
explains, yeah, that kind of explains that.
Yep.
Age of Empires 4.
Yeah, that was just out of nowhere. That's just the thing with the Microsoft presentation. There was a whole bunch of things in there that could have been like the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, Age of Empires 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, this gets 30 seconds? Like, there's a huge, huge franchise for them at one point, right?
Yeah.
Coming out October 28th and available on Game Pass day one.
Yeah.
Are you sensing a theme, anyone who's watching or listening right now? Best value in Game Pass. Neither of us are getting paid by Microsoft, as you can probably tell by what we're wearing. Um, we don't have a lot of money, but yeah, it's just you can't beat it. Can't beat it.
So next up, my favorite trailer of E3 so far
Yep, yep.
was the Outer Worlds 2 trailer. And it basically made fun of
Mm-hmm.
um every other game trailer out there. They're
Yep,
like slow motion, giant mechanical leg breaks the background. Like
yep,
it
yep.
just so like just so the humor of the Outer
Yeah.
Worlds.
And I had that, and then that noise that's in every game trailer. Wow,
Yeah. Yeah.
wow. Antagonist character that you won't see in when the game actually releases.
Yeah.
Very well done. If you're going to watch, if there are 3 trailers you should watch from this, just from what we've seen so far, not counting Nintendo because it hasn't gone yet.
Yeah.
This should be one of them as well. Outer Worlds 2 trailer. Just look at it. It's very good. Very good.
That's all it was though, was a trailer. There was nothing.
Yeah. There wasn't anything else to it.
Yeah. They're still way off on that one. What else we got here? Oh, Microsoft Flight Sim will be coming to the Series X and Xbox One.
That's gonna run like hot garbage. Oh man.
On July 27th.
Yeah. This game on a PC with a 3080 graphics card in it and like a 16 thread processor. In 4K you get about 20 frames a second.
Yeah.
It's a killer. So this running on the Xbox One, but
maybe it'll be the 16-bit like version of Flight Sim.
Right. It's going to look like Top Gun for the NES.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Which segue, there's a Top Gun Maverick DLC coming for it as well.
There is.
That's pretty cool. They had like the theme song and everything. That's pretty cool. And then next, a game that neither of us are really excited for, so we don't really want to talk about it.
No.
We'll just skip over it. That's last thing on the list. I guess we can't really skip over it. Well, I guess if we have to talk about it, why don't you go?
If there's one trailer that you actually seek out to watch so far from this E3, look up the Forza Horizon 5 trailer. And
yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I've watched it 3 times myself already. It's like it's unreal. This is next gen.
Yes.
This is what we're talking about.
Yeah, it looked absolutely amazing. And it's in Mexico, so some of the scenery and stuff was just breathtaking.
You know what got me? You know what really got me, like after the second watch? Were the skies.
Yeah.
How good the skies look.
Because the last one was based in England, right? The UK, it was cloudy most of the time.
Yeah, this is sunny with like little bits of cloud and like, oh man. But we're talking about the environment. We're not even talking about the cars yet.
Oh yeah, the one they had there that they had a special AMG Project One Forza Edition car they were showing in it, and the detail on it was ludicrous, even in the gameplay. Yeah. And they kept breaking out and showing how it was gameplay. It wasn't CGI.
It wasn't pre-rendered. It wasn't.
Because this is like the one game other than maybe um, Halo, they showed gameplay. They showed
Yeah,
people playing the game.
yeah. And they
Um,
showed how easy it's going to be to like just hop in with your friends and play and like challenge each other
yep.
and yeah, it just looks like so much like I never played a Horizon game until 4 and
Hmm.
I just fell in love with it after that.
Yeah. We've both put hundreds of hours into that game. Um,
So do you, I got a question for you once you're done gushing.
sure. And Game Pass Day 1, November 9th of this year. So,
Yeah. So that's kind of where my question's gonna be.
hmm,
I know that we both bought the like
hmm,
ultimate edition of 4.
yep.
Are you gonna shell out for the ultimate edition of Forza
Yes.
5? I'm gonna
Yes.
too
Yep.
because of it unlocks all the cars, all the DLC,
Yep.
which are things that are not included on Game Pass.
Yep. And
So
I can't, I just can't rationalize buying DLC for a game I don't physically own. That
yeah,
would seem strange to me because you can do that. You can play it on Game Pass and then just buy the DLC.
yeah,
But then if the game goes off Game Pass,
yeah. Then
for
what do you do?
whatever reason, yeah. So yeah, that's the last game on our Xbox Bethesda list.
But seriously,
Yeah,
people, go
it's a
look this.
great trailer. Real
Like
good.
it's hard to believe that it's not pre-rendered.
Yeah.
It really is.
So what's your letter for this one? Xbox Bethesda.
Um, I'm gonna give it an A.
Yeah.
Like
I
it,
think yeah, this is
there was enough. Like there wasn't a, there. I mean, we kind of knew Forza Horizon 5 was probably going to be shown,
mm-hmm,
and if it would have been a surprise, that would have got the A plus.
mm-hmm.
But I mean, that was the trailer they showed was still
And honestly,
exceptional.
the presentation from beginning to end, like Xbox has gotten a lot better with their presentations.
Hmm.
It used to kind of feel like, hey, and here's Halo. And oh, by the way, 30 million people all playing Xbox Live. And here's whatever game they make that's a shooter. Battlefield?
Gears of War,
Gears of
or
War.
yeah,
Here's Gears of War. You know, it was just like the presentation from top to bottom, and a lot of it has to do with Phil Spencer and Todd Howard, both very good speakers, very good presenters, and I think having them involved in it just it felt more professional, more well done. That's an A. I
yeah,
think
absolutely.
we haven't seen Nintendo yet. That's happening tomorrow, but I think right now we could safely say Microsoft up to this point they've won E3. You know, it's
Yeah, I think like I think there's going to be a little bit of a revolution over the next year where
yep.
people like I actually I was reading an article just before we came on where they're like, how can you not go with the math of Game Pass,
Oh yeah, yeah.
right?
It's
They're like they're just using a set amount of okay, say there's 10 games you want to play in a year,
mm-hmm.
and then they broke down how much it would cost you for a year of Game Pass.
Yeah.
But then if you had to go buy those same games
Mm-hmm.
on PS5,
Yeah.
how it's 4 times the amount of money.
Oh yeah, by a lot more, right?
And
That's
I mean, I'm not clamoring to get a Series X
mm-hmm.
because 90% of this stuff, 90, I'd even go as high as 95.
Mm-hmm.
If it's Microsoft original,
Mm-hmm.
it's coming on PC as well,
Yep.
right? Day one.
Yep.
I mean, there's some of these other exclusives like in the past, like Outriders, like that just came to the console,
Mm-hmm.
but that was still a Game Pass day one thing,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's fine. I wasn't. I tried the demo of Outriders, and
Yeah, neither of us are really really blown away by it. But yeah, it's
but
very few things.
But like, how many other things have I just
Mm-hmm.
tried because it's on Game Pass?
Yep.
And whew, yeah.
So from top of the heap, now the other end. At least, well, I don't want to say in case you really like this one. Square Enix had theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go.
So their big reveal was Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Which shows that they still have the Marvel license.
Yep.
So I checked this trailer out.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like the art style of it.
Yeah.
Kind of a pseudo realistic cartoony. I don't know how else to like.
Yeah. Yeah, they had the characters. They're different than what you would see in the movie or in the comics, but they were approved by Marvel. They actually, other than the trailer, they spent like half an hour on this movie talking to other people and like the developers and showing gameplay. There's a lot of gameplay shown in this game.
Yeah, there really was.
And it didn't start off great for me, but it won me over. I started to get more excited personally as it went along that this could be a good game.
I mean, so this is them doing something that Square Enix is better at. I mean, with Avengers, they were trying to create a live service, an online service, right?
Mm-hmm.
They wanted their Destiny, or they wanted their, you know, like something that keeps people coming back. But this is a single player action adventure.
Yep.
Like, and that gives me a lot more hope for it.
Yes.
But I think so many people were burned by Avengers that they're really gonna have to.
Yep.
This is gonna have to be spectacular.
Yeah, because you're absolutely right. And I think they know it because this was 40% of their presentation.
Yeah.
Was more of this, right? If they're going to have decisions like Mass Effect type decisions as well, where you can actually, you're controlling Star-Lord the whole time.
Yeah.
But you can command the other Guardians kind of at the touch of a button by in the attacking and stuff like that. And
yeah, I'm intrigued.
I am too.
I'm intrigued.
I am. I would coming in. I was like, I rolled my eyes to be honest. But by the end, it was like, okay.
The opening dialogue of that trailer was a little rough. Like it just, I was like, oh boy.
Yeah. So hopefully, and if you stop listening right now, you won't miss much else. Spoilers. But we're going to keep going on because we're getting paid to do it. So
yeah, we're getting paid
with your likes
and subscribes.
All right, what was next, Ryan?
They showed a little bit of Legend of Mana, which is I think a remake of the original.
Yeah, is it the new one? There's like something of Mana.
Yeah.
Gamers right here.
Yeah.
Not those kind of RPGs are not really in either of our wheelhouse.
No.
Yeah. Coming to Switch, PS4, and Steam. The trifecta of next gen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They showed the Black Panther DLC War for Wakanda coming to the Avengers game.
Yeah.
And did I read? Yes. It's part of it's free.
Yes, because it had to be.
Yeah. Yeah. So. And
no release date on that either.
No.
It can't be terribly far out, but they didn't have any release dates for much that was here.
So next up, it's a whole new game. I thought it was DLC when I first saw it, but Hitman Sniper: The Shadows. And it
Yep.
happens in the world of Hitman, I guess.
Yep.
Um,
And it's a mobile game.
right.
Square Enix went real heavy into the mobile stuff this time.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's right. Because it's not in this summary here, but they announce like the first 5 Final Fantasies are coming to mobile.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they spent roughly 8 seconds talking about it, whereas a lot of people were, myself included, I loved the first 3 to death. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Is it going to be like a pixel to pixel replication? Are they going to smooth things out a little bit? How are they going to do the art style? And it's done. Spent 45 minutes talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. We got 18 seconds on the Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, cool. Yeah. What else?
They announced another mobile game. So in the Nier series, like Nier Automata and Nier,
Yeah.
I don't know the other one. I can't remember the name of the other one, but
Really great games.
they're great hack and slash games. This is Nier Reincarnation, and it's coming to iOS and Android.
And we're making use of on-screen buttons to engage in battle, which every gamer wants to hear.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Ryan and I are not anti-mobile game.
No.
But when the game series is only coming to mobile.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think the last of their trifecta of mobile announcements was this Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier, which is another mobile game.
Yeah. It was something.
Like a game.
It looked like a game. Yeah. A battle royale in the Final Fantasy world.
Yeah.
On mobile. Those combination of words, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they showed Babylon's Fall, which is made in conjunction with Platinum Games, which is actually,
yep.
You know, they make some great hack and slash games.
They do. What sentence in that little blurb that you're reading the same blurb I am? Does anything in there get your warning lights?
Besides them announcing it'll be a live service game. Yeah, it'll be
anytime in the near the end of production they announce it's now going to be live service.
Yeah,
that's never worked out well. Ever. No. And this is a game a lot of people were looking forward to. Like, this has got a lot of hype.
It does.
So, I mean, maybe it'll be fine. Yeah.
So I don't know what just triggered this, but you know what? I'll talk about this. These last 2 games here, and then I got a segue for us.
Nice.
They also showed more of the new Life is Strange game coming. And a closer look at the remastered collection that's releasing with it. What is the True Colors? That's right. So right. Life is Strange True Colors is the new one, and then they're also releasing Life is Strange 1 and 2 remastered,
right,
in conjunction, and that's coming September 10th. I haven't partook in these games yet, but I've heard they're excellent, dramatic, emotional journeys.
Very good storytelling from what I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I missed this one, The Stranger of Paradise of Final Fantasy Origin.
You didn't miss anything.
Okay, good.
They made it kind of look like Dark Souls with Final Fantasy. The idea is these soldiers of light. You've played the first one, I imagine, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember Garland? Like the first boss and then the last boss, spoilers, in Final Fantasy, the Knight?
Okay.
Yeah. In this, he's Chaos. It looked,
Oh,
and so it's like a Dark Souls type game based on like a origin story, and they're off. These three soldiers of light are off to destroy chaos, and the voice acting looked and sounded so bad.
oh no.
I really hope they just pick some bad clips. Like, we're off to destroy chaos, chaos, chaos. I said chaos like 14 times.
Well, they had to.
Yeah. So it's a full launch in 2022, but there's a PS5 demo now.
Okay.
So interesting. That's fairly early, but so if we know anyone with a PS5 who'd be willing to try the demo for the show,
yeah, maybe we'll see if Brent wants to. I'll take a look at that.
There you go. There you go. And yeah, their next big thing was, that was it.
That was it.
I'm going to do my letter first this time. Just break with.
Okay.
This is a hard D. This was a D for me.
Yeah.
And the only reason it wasn't an F or D minus, I mean, they showed up, so it can't literally be an F, is that Guardian of the Galaxy, by the end of the 45 minutes worth of talking about it, I was like, okay, I'm willing to give this a try. But they probably didn't need to spend that long time. But I don't think they had a lot of other stuff to... When they broke into the mobile games, like 3 in, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yikes.
You guys needed some filler. What about you, Guy? What did you think of it?
Yeah, pretty underwhelming.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm intrigued by the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. I'm not all over it.
Yeah. It's enough to give it a try. They announced after the trailer that it was like, and if you pre-order, you get these suits and these suits and these suits and this and that, and it's like.
Did you watch the entire event?
Yeah.
Was there any Outrider news?
No, nothing I saw. Nothing I remember.
Weird, hey? Like.
Yeah, I expected something about DLC or something.
Yeah.
But, I mean, unless I missed like a 2-minute blurb, but I did watch it, and I didn't see it. So. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I this is another one I caught up in summaries on, but yeah, that I was just thinking about that. I'm like, this other game as service that they're trying to trying to create,
which is doing okay. I mean, it's not busting any barns.
Yeah,
barn busting, is that a thing?
It is not barn busting.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So for my segue, something else that happened in the last 2 weeks that got announced and actually had some amazing freaking gameplay shown of was Elden Ring.
Oh yeah, we totally missed over that. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it didn't happen. It happened before. Like, these are in the days leading up to like the Summer Game Fest and E3. But that Elden Ring trailer, holy man, I'm intrigued.
It looks pretty good.
I'm definitely intrigued. I think we can be guaranteed that it's going to have a crazy involved story because of George R. R. Martin's involvement.
He's only writing 80% of it, though. He's letting some other guys finish it off for him.
Well, no, that'll be the game. Like, you gotta wait for the rest of the game to download in 5 to 10 years when he finishes the story.
Oh. Heyo.
But yeah, I just wanted to mention that that Babylon just triggered that memory, and I was like,
right, yeah,
right,
Elden Ring.
We're
gonna get some angry comments if we didn't mention that, but yeah, it looked pretty good. So you want me to go off on the next one here? I imagine, right?
Absolutely. I didn't get a chance to do anything with this one today, so
we got a 10-minute presentation from Mr. Tommy Tallarico talking about the Intellivision, in particular the Amico. And honestly, it wasn't groundbreaking, but it was very much aimed at the people who didn't know anything about it yet. And he just eloquently put out how he said right in it that the graphics we're not aiming for super realistic graphics. We're not competing with Xbox or PlayStation. He said this is something aimed at a niche that we don't think is being taken care of, and it's family co-op. It's couch co-op. We're bringing back that to video gaming. Uh, and then they went off to show the features like the wireless charging where you put it in the cradle to charge, the Bluetooth. It shows the I'll just show for anyone who hasn't seen this yet. Let's just say this is your first time watching our show, which if it is, hey, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
I'll show the controller here, or the system. And these controllers here, can you see my mouse cursor? Or?
Yep.
Okay. It's a Bluetooth screen. You can hold them sideways as well. And this, he says, most analog controllers, because the big thing with the Intellivision back in the day was the big touch disc, the analog disc that was on the controllers. This has 64 different axis of touch, 64 different directions in it. So instead of being like 8 or 16 that you'd see on a normal digital pad, it's 64.
Nice.
Other things about it, like they announced at the games. I'll just stop sharing here. The games are going to be no more than $9.99, which I'm assuming is American digital at launch. So every game will be $9.99 or cheaper. And that the physical games, which they are going to be releasing, that was kind of a thing, is where they're going to be doing that. No more than 20, so $19.99.
Nice.
And no R-rated games, no like nothing overly gory. It's all going to be aimed at family stuff. There even some things in here like the lighting. There's an LED ring around the Amico. It's going to be affected by things in the game, like in the bomb defusing game. The like it's basically it's like that VR game Don't Stop Talking, where everyone explodes or whatever.
Right.
It's not what it's called, but it's something like that. The ring will turn different colors based on what you're doing in the defusing of the bomb. The thing itself has an NFC reader, so if you get a gift card for Amico to cash it in, add it to your account, you hold it to the console, and it automatically has it. Little things like that they're really cool ideas, right? So there wasn't much other than talking about what they already had.
I love the whole statement here. There will be no ads, no loot boxes, no DLC or in-game purchases. Parents won't have to worry about their offspring accidentally spending their mortgage worth on unnecessary digital content.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
It is. Like the one big thing they announced that was like their one more thing, I guess, was that they've got the people behind Echo the Dolphin, the Genesis series, to make a game called
The Big Blue.
It says The Big Blue here. I thought it was called something else. I won't look it up right now, but basically another game in the ocean. And then they also talked about Earthworm Jim 4. They have a little contest for signed prints of it.
Nice.
And he announced it's kind of funny because big Tommy Tallarico fan anyway. He holds the Guinness World Record for being involved in the most video games of all time. And then he showed the list, and he said, "Yes, my mother's very proud," or something like that. But he's a game musician. He's been involved with a lot of the voices. Like he says, if you hear someone say "oof" in Roblox, he says that was me. He said, "Yeah." So that's what I like. That's what I like about it, is everything is very humble. He's not up there kind of. He just seems like a regular dude who likes video games. And for the price of the system, like $249, you get the 2 controllers, you get the 6 games. They're not competing with Xbox or PS5, but they're not trying to. They're going for a niche that's basically Nintendo was the only thing filling it right now, right? For the family.
Yeah.
And this couch co-op side. And I mean, games $20 for physical, right? Like,
yeah.
What game do you get for a physical for 20 now, right? So I'm very excited. It's October 2021.
Coming soon.
I mean, I hope it is. It's been delayed a couple times, but They haven't mentioned anything about delays, so it was nice. It was perfect size. He's like 10-minute presentation, just personable, like talking to the camera. No big flashy explosions or anything like that. So I thought it was very well done and kind of just symbolized what it is. It's not a flashy in your face system. It's it's like a warm hug.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what isn't like a warm hug?
What's not like a warm hug?
Our next one.
So, oh well, why don't you? Since I didn't really get to watch it, why don't you give that presentation your grade?
Oh, for what it is, that's a B.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't flashy. They didn't show the launch lineup, but you know what? He got to the point. He didn't drag on for 45 minutes about games that no one was going to care about. He's just like, this is what it is. This is what we're doing. You remember the Intellivision sitting with your family? That was cool. This is cool too.
Nice. Okay.
There you go. Capcom.
Capcom. That's the last one that we're up to date with now, hey?
Sure is.
And
did you watch this one?
No,
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, from what I'm reading here, it's pretty underwhelming.
Sure was. Sure was. If you were, well, I won't get ahead of it, but if you're a fan of a certain franchise, you'd be pretty happy, and that was about it. Yeah.
So Resident Evil Village, no details, but it's getting DLC.
Yeah. Surprising everyone there. DLC for popular selling Resident Evil game?
What?
Cool. Yeah, that's all right.
They announced that Resident Evil, the RE-verse, is going live next month, which it was supposed to actually launch alongside Village, but
yeah,
it's coming now.
Yep.
DLC, they talked about DLC for Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Stories.
Yeah, when this was the second thing, this is where I started to be like, okay, Capcom doesn't have a lot for this one. I mean, Monster Hunter fans, cool. You like it? New DLC. It's a great franchise. The good games. But when this is your second story, and you're Capcom,
yeah. And then was this the closeout? The next
close.
Close?
Very close, yeah.
Oh. So this is it's a compilation of all the Ace Attorney titles put into one game? Is that what this is, or is it a new game?
It's a new game. It's not Phoenix Wright. It's a different series.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was something. Starring Herlock Sholmes. Yeah. It looked like it wanted to be Phoenix Wright. Same sort of thing. You break down cases.
Well, it's called The Great Ace Attorney, and that's Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney is the name. But like I saw the trailer here, and I assumed that's what it was.
That's what it looked like, right? But
yeah.
when it's not. It's the Ace. Phoenix Wright is not in this game anywhere. At least not according to the trailer. It's that Herlock Sholmes guy.
Wow.
And his buddy. Yeah. At least from what I saw, maybe I missed something there, but it was, yeah, it's a game. And that was the last game trailer.
Yeah.
Because then they went on into the talking about the Capcom Pro Tour returning. And they showed a lot of guys playing esports. Street Fighter 5 particularly.
Right.
Yeah. That was it. That's the presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like no big reveals, nothing, just
Nope.
basically updates on all existing stuff.
Yeah, the only new game was that Herlock Sholmes one. Everything else was either DLC, which for Resident Evil, they didn't even have a name for the DLC. It's like, you like Resident Evil? It's going to be some more for that game you bought.
There's some coming.
Here it comes. Yeah, this almost looked like they weren't ready, which I don't understand.
Yeah.
For which is sad because Capcom's really been hitting it out of the park here, right? But
Yeah, like kind of hit after hit, and
yeah.
hmm.
So yeah, this one's another D,
Yeah.
maybe a D minus, honestly, because it's like you didn't need to have this. There was nothing they announced other than one game that I don't think anyone knew was coming, or maybe there's a certain group of people who were really excited about that. But yeah,
The Great Ace Attorney. Apparently, they knew it was coming.
okay,
It was in this other article here with the what to expect. That's one of the games listed.
okay.
So
There you go. There you go.
yeah,
And so far, that's pretty much everything that's been done so far. They've had like Razor and limited run games, and oh, okay, I got to talk about one of the limited run games before we go.
oh, I know what you're. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I bet you do. Limited run games does physical releases for games. They pick some titles, ones that never had physical releases or haven't for a while, and I don't know how they pick some of them. Um, long time viewers will know that one of my secret pleasures is full motion video games. I had a 3DO, Panasonic 3DO, Sega CD, and my genre. I at the time full motion video games came out like when they were doing like 9 disc compilation games, right? I thought, man, this is what gaming's going to be in the future, right? This is Wing Commander 3, like they had Mark Hamill. um, One game I've never gone back and gone, man, I wish they do a remake, is Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, which they just announced today. Was a 3D only game. It might have been on PC as well. It is critically panned as one of the worst games ever made. Like usually in everyone's top 10 lists. There's no game. You basically make some choices with really cheesily acted slideshows. They're not even video.
oh,
Yeah. uh, it's real bad. If you want a viewing pleasure to enjoy someone really hating that game, the Angry Video Game Nerd does a great video on Plumbers Don't Wear Ties that I still go back to and watch about once a year. It's pretty amazing.
I will. I'll have to go check that out.
Yeah.
I've heard of
So
the game. I never looked much further than that.
yeah, it's an interesting choice to remake, but they'll probably sell a bunch because it's one of those games that's so bad everyone knows it. So, and let's be honest, the 3DO does not have a huge fan base. Collectors collectors have been buying the crud out of it because it's become very hard to get games for. But yeah, so I just had to mention that. I don't know anything else in limited run games announced, but I saw that and I'm like, wow, okay. And then Razer, I think Razer did theirs as well. I'm assuming it's all peripherals and stuff.
I never checked out the Devolver presentation.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
It's
anything good looking there? Or?
Nothing. Devolver games don't really grab me.
Right.
But the actual presentation's always really cool because they always have this really over the top gory presentation that's like a movie.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But no, nothing really jumped out at me there.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm just going to pull up that E3 schedule again here. Because
So
what are we missing?
I think there's only one more.
One more big one, eh?
Well, Bandai Namco. Oops. Oh my
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Got excited there. So tomorrow, I'm not sure what time this is ours. 9 a.m. PBT.
Yeah.
So is that
That's specific. So 10 p.m. our time. Or 10 a.m. our time.
10 a.m. our time? Okay.
Yeah.
Is the big Nintendo E3 presentation?
Yeah.
And Bandai Namco.
Yes. At 3:25.
Yeah.
Mountain time. Yeah.
So we were gonna push to tomorrow, but you know what? We're already running a little long, so we covered a lot of stuff today.
Yeah. So the Nintendo one, I think we're both expecting, or maybe we're not both expecting, but the rumors have been circulating like the crazy about the next Switch
Yeah.
S Plus Pro, whatever it decides to go by.
Yeah. It kind of there was an accidentally leaked GameSpot flyer.
Right, I saw that.
Where you could, if you traded in stuff, you could get $50 towards the new Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, and new was capitalized.
And new was capitalized.
As opposed to being just the new. It's
yeah,
which Nintendo has a habit of calling their new system the new 3DS, the new. Yeah.
So, but you know they stated when they originally announced the date that they were going that it's going to be 40 minutes of, well, they said mostly software.
Yeah.
Mainly,
we expected they'd have announced something by now because.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. The looking at the Rabbids versus Mario and Rabbids game, I looked at the gameplay there and I thought that looks awfully good to be on the regular Switch hardware.
I was kind of thinking that too when I was watching it, but then I'm like, well, it's not realistic graphics. They like you look at something like Luigi's Mansion 3 and
sure,
you know, that stuff looks crazy good too. But I mean, it's all but announced. Like,
come
on already.
Just let us. This is a Nintendo thing, and they probably won't announce it tomorrow either. They'll have like some surprise Nintendo Direct they'll drop like 2 days later, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, Nintendo Switch Pro."
Well, they announced that they're going to have the event and then 3 hours of Nintendo Treehouse. So a couple years ago, that's how they announced the 3DS Metroid game that came out, the Return of Samus or whatever it was. Samus Returns. Anyways, it wasn't in their presentation, but they announced it during
the Treehouse.
The Treehouse, but
okay,
I think people would be pretty pissed if something as major as that gets.
They're like, "Oh yeah," and Billy here has the new Nintendo.
Yeah. Just holds it up.
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah, we won't talk about what we've been playing. We'll do a big what we've been playing next week, and we'll do a summary of the Nintendo and Bandai Namco presentation.
Absolutely.
And we'll just end this here. So,
bye.
Yeah, I'm out of here. Thank you, everyone, for watching, listening, whatever you're doing. We appreciate you. You can catch more of our stuff at thegrumpyoldgamers.com or look us up on Facebook. That's where most of the action tends to happen. Just search out The Grumpy Old Gamers. And if you want to contact us with a question, comment, whatever. We love getting emails. You can email us at makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. We love it. And other than that, say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie. Have a good night, folks.